get into it. So Jessie Woo was trending. She was on Walling Out, and she made basically a joke about Whitney Houston. And basically, she was singing I will always love you, leave a message. Back in the days when you used to play your favorite song, you like leave a message at the beat. So at the end of her joke, she said, basically, don't leave a message because I'm dead. Minnie, what are your thoughts about that? And she recently went on live, just to backpedal. She recently went on live, and her defense was, listen, I'm a comedian. I should have that comedian license to be able to make jokes about anything. And if it was a man that made the same joke, she would not be getting all this backlash. What are your thoughts on that?
So with that statement, I do agree with what she's saying. I feel like nowadays, like, comedians have to be so restricted on what they say and their jokes that they made. And like back then, it was never like that. If you watch like some of the old Cat Williams or what's his name?
Mike Epps.
Is it Mike Epps? If you watch some of their old comedy shows in today's age, you'd be like, whoa, like that was okay to say back then. No one was in an uproar back then when you said those things or whatever. So I definitely feel like the whole dynamic of being a comedian has definitely changed. I don't know if it's because of social media or what, but at the end of the day, I do still feel like certain things should be off limits as far as death. Like she lost her life, so I don't see how's that even funny? How can you even make a joke about someone losing their life?
Yeah,
or whatever. But I don't know. That was just crazy. Like
I feel I do agree with the aspect of, well, I don't think the joke. I honestly didn't think the joke was funny. Like even it, like I didn't get like the real punchline behind it. But I do think that she's getting a lot of backlash because she is like a woman. I do have to agree with her that if she was a man and she made that same joke, nobody would care that much. But because she's a woman, I think that's why people are making it a big deal. I think she is getting a little mistreatment behind that. But I just thought the joke really wasn't that funny.
I don't think it's because. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say, I don't think it's because she's a woman. Just going back with the dynamic of comedians now, like even when Kevin Hart told a joke, like I can't remember the joke or whatever, he received a lot of backlash. It's just, unfortunately, nowadays, certain things are off limits. It's not like how it was back in the days where you can just joke about anything and people would look at you like, oh, he's a comedian or she's a comedian or whatever. Because even back then, we had a lot of female comedians who said some off the wall shit and it didn't receive the backlash.
Yeah,
they did not receive the backlash that she received. As of now, it's just that the world's a little bit more sensitive.
And I think what it is about these new age comedians, a lot of them really don't do stand up. Like, I don't know Jessie Woo for doing stand up, but like Minnie said, back in the days, a lot of those comedians said some cringy things if you were watching now. And I know recently, I think 2-3 years ago, Dave Chappelle had a special on Netflix and he made a joke about transgenders and he got backlash about that. So I don't necessarily think it's about men. I think people are now, if you say something, people are going to be offended, but he stood by that joke. And I think at the end of the day, if you're a comedian and you're doing this for laughs and giggles, then leave it at that. Everything doesn't have to be explained to the media. You don't have to make a press conference on your social media. You made a joke. Some people thought it was funny, some people didn't, but at the end of the day, you're a comedian. You're gonna push that envelope and you should stand by that, but you shouldn't have to defend every joke that goes viral at the end of the day. Yeah. It's like they always try, I'm a comedian, that's it, period, and that's all, move forward. But the fact that she went on live, she made this hour, video about explaining why she thought it was funny, and I understand when you get backlash, but you just have to stand by that last license that you a comedian, you push the envelope, and that's it.
I agree.
That's very true.
I do believe that comedians should have that space where they're not always being canceled, because then they're not going to be funny. If they have to,
Absolutely.
if a comedian has to sit there and say,
Censor.
like vet every joke and say, am I going to get canceled for this joke? Then we're going to have nothing to laugh about. So, and I think even the people, if somebody's making a joke, like a joke that's directed towards that person, then just laugh it off. It's literally a joke. As long as, I don't know, I do think comedians need more space to actually be able to do their job and not feel like they're going to be canceled.
But they have to stand by it though.
That's
you
true.
know, she can't backpedal and try to tell a joke and then smooth it out. It takes away from the joke. Unfortunately, it does. Like, did I think it was funny? Absolutely not. But I know she's a comedian, and they pushed the envelope, and I don't even think anybody was saying that she was canceled. They were just saying that wasn't funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that even happened until she came on live. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, leave it alone. Just leave it alone, sis. You said your joke, now move on. Some people laughed, some people didn't. It's okay. That's gonna happen as a comedian. Not all your jokes gonna hit. Not all your jokes gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
I thought I was the only one. I'm like, who canceled her? Because I don't remember her being canceled. I don't remember the joke.
I don't remember Shade Room posting her about the joke until she came on and did the press conference.
Not the press. Like,
Bruh,
sis, who asked you?
These
We have gathered here today.
She gathered her own self. She literally was trying to cancel her own self. Girl.
And that is so true. Sometimes people put themselves in a position to cancel their own self, because sometimes people don't even be worried. Like, they're not even worried about you, sis. Like,
that is so true, because on her live, she was basically saying, oh, I don't think that Whitney would have taken offense, and I don't think the family should take offense. And then that's when people start getting mad. Like, you didn't know Whitney personally. You don't know what she would have taken offense to. And you don't know if the family took offense or not. So the fact, I totally agree. People start canceling themselves. You should have told the joke and kept it on the stage, sis. Kept it on the stage.
Nobody was canceling you. Nobody was talking about it. You wanted people to talk about it.
Hold on. No, she did not say. I didn't.
Yes, she did. She said Whitney had a sense of humor. I don't think she would have taken offense to that. She would have just been like, bitch.
Okay.
She was about like 10 when Whitney was like, what the fuck?
Because I'm sure Jessie.
I don't know how old she was when Whitney.
No, like Jessie Woo's our age. Like, I'm pretty sure she's like.
She has to be in her early 30s or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that was a part of the joke as well, because the fuck are you saying?
She wasn't even thought of when Whitney died. Like, it was no Jessie Woo when Whitney even died. So.
She pushed her own envelope.
She made her own news, her own buzz.